Hello. Nice to see you again. This is Edna J. White, and I'm thankful so much for you to drop in today at the Life Purpose Institute. And I want to share a couple of things with you. I've had a couple of questions from a lot of people interested in becoming life coaches. And I just want to share my experience with you just to let you know what exactly it takes to be a life coach. I wish that somebody would have told me exactly what the truth was when I started in this business. So, what's the truth about it? I'm a little nervous about sharing this information because sometimes people get offended and it's probably going to hurt some people's feelings. But, totally, I'm sorry, but it has to be said. And one of the things I know I'm going to hear and I will listen to is that people try to create a coaching business that works. And it seems to be working, but they're not getting paid. They're seeing the interest, they're seeing the social media collaborations, but they're not seeing the income that they were told or was visualized or imparted to them from other people. Because there are things that people don't tell you about coaching school. You have to learn yourself, and it really is a business. But people are not going to buy into the business; they're going to buy into you, and we have to become marketers or advertisers and become so socially expert in the things that we need and how to go about speaking to people. We have to take that side of the business because many of the coaches that I know will always want to take it as a business and explain it like I'm a life coach and or I'm a spiritual coach. Not many people understand that, so the wording is off for them. But when you say words that affect them and that they can use to move on or to feel better, it affects them more. And yes, we have big hearts, most of us, and we have big dreams. But being a life coach can be really defeating. So let's just put it out there. I'm thinking about maybe about $8,000 in getting trained. Um, I went to college for it. I also took a public speaking course, not realizing that I was already public speaking when I was a co pastor in a church, and I was speaking out all the time for over 20 years. Um, but didn't know that it was a business. So when I stepped out to begin life coaching, I realized that it's just not the life coaching itself. It's a skill you have to hone. It's a skill you have to learn. It's like graphic designs or creating an organization. Oh, I got it. Teaching. It's not a business in itself and of itself. It's slightly, if I can say, it needs to be paired with a few things to make it a business that actually makes money. So you can have the business, but you have to have the skill of teaching, of making people feel like they can trust you to take them to their next level. Some people use it as a hobby, some kind of offspring it off of something that they've started. And unless you feel it to be a business and run it as a marketer, you will always not, you will be chasing the money and not making the money. Um, I see so many people quitting perfectly good jobs and ditching perfectly good skills because they have decided they wanted to start a life coaching business to help other people realize their dreams and become their most authentic, powerful selves, or find their genuineness in their spirit, or some other struggle that they come across. But no one wants to talk about what life coaches do. If you could ask them, what do I do, in plain language, most life coaches would not be able to tell you in plain language. They wouldn't be able to tell you what that means to a child. So you have to be able to bring your what you do down to a child, to for a child to figure out. And it's just that easy. I'm someone that can teach you how to do this and this in this amount of time. It's just that simple. But we still have the label of life coach business, and people really don't understand what that concept is, because it's loaded with powerful pieces and segments that have to do with life in general. It could be from getting unstuck from one position to the other, like, I'm not feeling good, I'm depressed, I want to get better, I need to do this in 3 months. Okay, that's one segment. It could be, I'm at this job, I want to excel, I want to be a manager within 6 months, and I need your help. Or it can be, I want to be proficient in this professional position I'm in now, and I want to be proficient. How do I do that? I need 6 months to create that. And that's how some people need to lower their concept of life coaching, because it has to touch a person and be able to affect them. So most people come to me, how do I make it work? How can I generate full-time income in 3 to 6 months? And because they're working off their savings, how can they become overnight successes like so and so? And this drives me up the wall, because there's no such as overnight successes. When you watch the videos, when you're inspired by gurus, you got to understand the words that they said before then. I spent years perfecting this. And we don't hear that part. We just hear the result. And you have to know, and you have to be clear, that it helps that you keep driving the passion about building the business and doing awesome work in the world. I know that you do that. I know that you want that. But what drives me up the wall the most is somewhere out there, someone's feeding us lies about how, if you're passionate about something, you can turn it into a business. That if you just believe enough, you can do anything you want to do. And yes, I say that a lot, but I know behind it, passion does not produce profit. You can have a passion, but you have to have the skill behind it to create the profit. And I understand where all the life coaches are coming from and why they believe that it should be pretty easy to build their coaching business. Life coaches, don't lie. We all sat at our coaching school classes with our calculators when we first heard how much we'd be able to charge as a life coach. $300 to $500 a month for a client. We did some quick math on our phone, and we only need 9 or 10 clients a month to make a pretty good money. That was sweet to us. We saw fast money. But we weren't able to reel ourselves in to understand that it was a business, and we had to have the skill. We had to bring it on to entrepreneurship. But here's the thing, a thing you may have already learned, something sounding cool and people telling that life coach sounds interesting and inspiring doesn't mean that those people will be willing to pay you for it. When I first started coaching, I was stoked with 4 clients. 4 clients. I remember 5 more, and I'll be smooth sailing. Then one of them dropped off. Then one of them kept canceling, pushing back. her sessions, appointments, and pretty soon I was down to one. So you can definitely know how I feel about that. All of a sudden, the idea of getting and keeping 10 clients felt impossible, especially if I was going to have 10 clients all the time. However, I felt like I had to hustle and I didn't want to be part of it. So, what did I think of doing? I know that some of you are excellent life coaches, and as well as I, and some have written excellent best-selling books. And some have 75,000 people on Facebook. I understand that, and you've done everything right business-wise. But there are more people out there that are struggling to get clients and living month to month to hustle every damn month to find ways to making coaching a viable gig. Why? Because they are generalized life coaches. A life coach isn't something that people really get. They don't get that. Most important thing that a life coach needs to understand that coaching is not a business. It's a skill that we will use to combine with other expertise to help resolve a particular problem that our clients have. So if you're a new coach and you start feeling defeated, keep reading. Keep reading, keep educating yourself, keep getting better at your skill, because you will become the coach you want to. Now, if you don't have a niche, you really need to have one. You can't be vague. You can't have intangible results. You can't be hard pressed to find clients to pay the bills. You have to keep focused. Keep educating yourself. Keep honing your skills. And I've seen it too many times from the time I was coaching from the coaching school to the clients I work with now are highly skilled, intelligent people feeling inspired by transformation that's come when you learn from new coaching skills. But learning coaching is like a whole personal development course. It's all by itself. People have told us to leave our jobs and jump into this wholeheartedly. And I learned really by keeping my full-time job that incorporated me learning and honing my skills. And I worked on my gig at night from 6 to 9, 3 days a week. And doing that, it was easier for me to transform everything that I was doing. So I had to be able to learn to work a business in order to be a business, and then strengthen my personality, define my character, um, hone my speaking skills, know how to focus in on the client themselves and not give just the formalized boxed answer. I had to look at the client as an individual and make it client centered. All of that takes skill. You know, I don't particularly like the word hustle, and a lot of people do use it, and that's wonderful. That's great. But for me, I do like the word gig. I do like the word part time. I do like the word business. I do like those words. I want to take charge of my organization, and I know you want to take charge of your organization. The truth is that people will be coming to you because of you and what you have accomplished. Your story is important. Your skills and expertise are just as important. While coaching isn't about telling people what to do, some people need advice, guidance, and handholding. And you are 100% allowed to be their coach, their mentor, their teacher, and their advisor. And yes, you might be veering away from what you've learned in coaching school, that school that we pay money for. But I guess most professional or successful, that's what I'm looking for, most successful coaches do, because they want to be able to serve the client with their strengths and their personality. You know, I want to say to many of the coaches, let's just approach this thing with the elephant in the room. Many coaches who you see killing it in business are doing one of several things. They coach and they mentor other coaches. They coach small businesses. They coach executives within organizations. So, in other words, they're starting at the top level and trickling down. What I did, I started from the bottom and tried to trickle up, and it just didn't work. Not to say that we're not concerned about the lower level or the smaller people or the ones, that are our level. Not to say that, but we have to reach up in order to gain the experience. And we need the regular folk, we need them. And we will get them, but we have to reach up to those who make the decisions, who need those skills and our skills to make those decisions, is to say, you know what, in my organization there's this person, and there's a whole group I want to see productive. Can you coach them? It's just that simple. You want to reach to the larger decision makers. I've always been like that. I've always wanted to reach the decision makers. And yes, I do mentor at the regular folk level because I believe giving, give back. And also, I'm honing my skills and learning how to really be a professional when I give and mentor someone. So it's absolutely nothing wrong with um, coaches coaching businesses or executives. The only problem is that we can't all be doing it, nor do we have to do it to make coaching work. We can mentor, we can also volunteer our time to hone our skills, because if we want to have a niche, I say niche, some say niche. Okay, niche. If we want to have that, we want to be able to be working with the regular people as well. But we definitely want to have that skill when it comes to the bigger group. Everyone can't, start at the top, but it would be nice. But everyone needs to know that we are all around. We have to solve a specific problem for a specific person in a specific time. When you try to save the world, you end up not eating, with no confidence, and closing your big business. You want to have a six-figure coaching business. So what I say to you today is, if you want to be that six-figure coaching person, put in your dues. That takes time. Combine your skills and your coaching and your education, and to offer pure coaching. Create custom packages. Don't just copy off of someone else. Create a custom package for yourself, for someone, to work with someone else, and work really hard at learning everything you could about how to run a business and market that business. Don't be stuck in the ups and the downs of the coaching business. Don't be trying to, do something that someone else has done. But really delve into what it really takes to be that coach, with pureness, because I know that it took me many years to get here, And I'm excited about where it's taking me because everyone says I do so much, but it's all in sync. It really is all in sync because I believe when I give, when I mentor, when I share, when I produce, when I really work at it and work at it in a timely fashion, and I'm so finite about who I work with, how long I work with them, and what niche that I am, because it took me many years to get to the niche that I'm at now. And I know that I am definitely a life purpose coach. I know that I can sit with someone and looking at their resume, looking at their life, I know where they can go. I know by putting all that together, they could be happy at doing something they love to do and get a profit from it, not just to do it without a profit. I often say to most of my clients, stop being all over the place. And they say, oh, you're all over the place. I said, oh, but I'm not. I'm doing the same thing in many places. It's the big difference because I'm honing my skills at all times. And you should be doing the same thing. So, what's the real truth about being a life coach? Putting the work in, knowing your business, knowing how to market, and knowing that you have to bring it down to the level of a child saying what you do at a child's level. You can't just say that you're this great thing and no one knows what it is. It's not enough. It's got to be finite. This is Edna J. White signing off. I hope you learned something today. Look for me on Facebook at Edna J. White, Edna White Coaching, and also look for me on Instagram, EJW Coaching, and I am on Twitter too as well, Miss Edna. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.